So in this podcast, we are going to be talking about paint effects, where to find them, how to create them, and just where to find the options. There's so many different things that you can create with paint effects that we would have to do an entire video series in order to cover them all. So we just want to show you where it is and how to access it, and then you can do some exploring on your own with it. So the first thing I want to do is put down a plane. We're going to need some place to draw our paint effects. And we're going to come in here to generate, and I want to have that surface be paintable. Okay, so what happens is you draw a curve on a surface and the paint effects kind of travel along that curve. So we've got to tell Maya that this surface, we want to have paint effects applied to it. So we're going to say make paintable, and then let's come in here and we're going to go get brush. And what it does is it opens up what is called the visor. And in here we have all the different paint effects brushes, and you can see there's a ton of things. Some of them may or may not seem usable to you right now, and some of them you may just want to use parts of it. Okay, so for us, I'm going to go into flower mesh, and I'm going to grab the tulip here, and now I'm going to minimize the visor, and I'm going to just draw some tulips on the surface, and you can see they follow the curve that I drew. Now, what's nice about paint effects is they already have all of the materials and textures assigned to them. Okay, they are procedural. If you get too close, they're not going to look real. You always do want to adjust them. You don't want to just go with straight out of the box paint effects. You do want to make some kind of adjustment for them. But if you have any kind of plant life or want to add plant life into your scene, this is a nice quick way to get it without having to actually model things. Okay, and you can see if we just ran a quick render right here, it's already got the shaders applied to it. So we've got the green stem and the nice pink petals there. But what if we wanted to adjust what we have here? Okay, so make sure that we are on the stroke for tulip, and we're going to go into the attributes. And what we're going to look for is called, here we are, under Tulip 1, Tubes. Okay, now, right at the top we have global scale, and this is just going to actually scale them up or down. Okay, still they're staying on the curve there, so depending on how big or how small you want them. Now with tubes, under creation, this is where a lot of the options are. Tubes per step, so how many do we want in between the ones that I'd already put down. Randomization of them, and it's kind of sorting them there. All right, how many do we want at the start of the curve? How many segments with them? So this is adding more geometry. Okay, lengths, minimum and maximum. Let's pull back so we can see them. What's happening? All right, widths. So from the top or the bottom, we can kind of control these things, and then just some more random sliders here. So once we kind of get to where we like it, let's go back. This is just a little too much. There we go. Let's try to get them back to regular tulips. And once we have what we like, you can either go with that geometry. Okay, it is still attached to the curve, or we can do something like this. Let's grab it, and we're going to go to modify, and we're going to convert paint effects to polygons. Okay, and it gives us an option box, and it's looking more for the limit. So how many faces do we want this to be comprised of? Okay, I'm going to bring that down to about 5,000, and I'm going to say convert. Notice it didn't get all of the tulips. Okay, so it's taking 5,000, and it's like it started here, and then it kind of went to the tops. But that's okay. We don't need these here. All right. Let's go to mesh separate. So now they're all separate objects. Okay, and what we're doing is we can grab all these here, delete them. We can grab these over here, delete them, and now we have access to just the geometry in the mesh here of one single tulip. And with this, it is triangulated. It is a little dense, but it is usable. Okay, so now what you can do is just model things based on what you're used to. Okay, add thickness, change it around, modify it, use all the modeling tools that you already know to manipulate this object. So what PaintEffects does give you is a great starting point for foliage. Okay, it also has other things in there, trees, buildings, and things of that nature. So there's a ton of things in there, and give yourself some time to check it all out. Some of it's usable, some of it's not usable at all, but it can get you a starting place for some organic shapes. So go ahead and give yourself some time to explore and have some fun with it.